Well, I got an order in for some more of these spacers, and what this is for the Datsun trucks, the 520 and the 620, this boss is a different height, okay? They both use, and this has been gone over, dozens of times online and that stuff. Now, both of these come up as 32kbo2. This is a /11b. This is nothing, just 32kbo2. These are non-existent. Supposedly we can maybe still get them out of Mexico, maybe Thailand. You cannot go order these at any parts store. Every parts store will tell you they have them, but they're the wrong ones. When you get them in, it's actually a rear wheel bearing for the Roadster or something like that. They got it wrong ages ago, and every parts manual out there has them wrong. Anyway, the point of these, and I've got the information on my website, so basically what I'm looking to do this morning is just simply show you how I make them. The difference in the boss here is roughly the 2 millimeters, roughly this distance, okay? So on the 521, it has this spacer, and this one, I thought I had one opened up to slide down there, but that stacks on there, and then the bearing stacks on there, and you have X height from the back of the spindle here, okay? With the 620, the boss is taller, and this piece is built into the back, okay? But to put this on a 521, it comes up this much too short because the boss is that much taller, okay? So what this does is, for a 521, 520, or 320 spindle, this spacer goes on, and then this bearing, which is easy to get, it's a 620 drum bearing, they're readily available, they're no problem. So you can put that on like that, put your set together, and the height that it sets it at from here is exactly the same, within a few thou, of this setup, okay? So if you want to keep the drums and you're still using your drum axle and everything like that, you can put this stamped spacer on and get new bearings, which I've had these for years. I just don't push them or promote them. People find them now and then, but kind of thing. But anyway, I'm out of them. I need to make a few to send out. And Wayne Luth, off Rats, and he's over in Vancouver, north of me. He comes over every now and then. And pretty much every time he comes over, he gives me a great idea. I was machining these before as a cup, and I really didn't like that because the cup registered on the outside, and that meant having to cut the backing plate. And he started bringing up something about stamping them, kind of thing. And even though that sits there like that, when the bearing, doesn't have to be glued on or anything like that, it just gets pushed to the back. It sits there well enough that when the bearing goes on, it's right where it needs to be, Anyway, Wayne gave me the idea, and so then I'll show you the next piece here. I created a die, found shims that were just the right size, and pressed them. Let's go press couple. Alright, so here's my setup. I've got everything positioned. I'll show the die. I'll do the footage of the die here in just a second, but it comes out of there like that. And this stack is just simply because I'm too lazy to bring that bar up. So these are the shims. Brand new shims. I don't remember where I got them from. Daco Precision Tool. I've put them in two different ways. Okay, now I'm sure these are stamped, die cut, basically the way they, looking at the edge here and stuff like that. And also, too, the fact that the bottom side here, these are sharp edges, these are rounded. That's typically indicative of die cut anyway, too. Because as it goes in, before it starts cutting, it stretches the metal down into a groove and then finally pinches it. Anyway, so then the question was, which side do I put up or down? Does it matter? Well, what I decided is if I put it with the round side so that it's up, what happens is the sharp edge is down. Now that sharp edge is much more likely to have some kind of burr or inconsistency in it. Okay, so I decided to do them with the sharp side up because it's not in contact with the bearing or anything, and that way that leaves me a round radius back here, smoother, much less likely to have any discrepancies surface. Throw it in there, so I want to throw it in with the round side up, and you can see I have a lip there. If I were to make another die, I think I would make it tall enough that this could register down in, and that way when it pressed, it couldn't twist. That's why I didn't want to get it fairly close there. I got it in the center. I don't want it to twist because if you can see that okay, the side closest to me here, it didn't quite press all the way in, and this side's nice and got a nice sharp press mark. And even if I keep pressing down on it, it doesn't get any better. So it needs to get hit right the first time. So let's see, I have air over pneumatic, so that's what you're going to hear. And this knob here, if you have a hydraulic press, manual or air driven, I made an adapter to fit over the original nut there. So instead of using the handle, I have a knob here. Let me tell you, that is the absolute best upgrade you could possibly make to one of these tools, to one of these jacks. I mean, even if you have it just for a car jack, holy cow, it's so much nicer than using the jack handle. And with air over pneumatic, you're not using the handle to jack it, so it makes even more sense to have one of these. So anyway, yep, that one came out nice. I did have some material at one point and it cracked along the bend here. I think it was just the quality of the shims. So these aren't cracking, that's good. I just have to do a couple more. I'm not going to stamp all 100 of them while I'm here, or even today. Good. Cool. As long as you have it fairly centered and lined up there, it pumps them out nicely. Alright, I think I'll shoot a little Instagram footage for it.